Jason.
Colby.
What's up, buddy?
Good to see you, man. Starting this day out right.
Yeah, I know.
It's raining like hell outside. Neither of us are in the shop working on the cars, and we're sitting here doing a little filming.
Yeah. Figured we'd just kind of make this random podcast. No real purpose, but just wanted to kind of talk and do some testing with footage and equipment and fuck about. So maybe I shouldn't curse on YouTube.
We can bleep it out.
I can bleep it.
You can bleep it out. It's YouTube. Bleep anything out.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're on iTunes, give us the positive review and the thumbs up on YouTube and like and subscribe and all the good stuff. You know what to do.
Obviously.
This isn't your first day on YouTube.
No.
Maybe it is. If it is, like and subscribe. It's a little button that says subscribe. Never mind.
But yeah, so how's your projects going, man?
Busy. Man, the Datsun Project is just very, very slow.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be meticulous about it. I could bang this thing out in about a month if I really wanted to. I mean, the engine's in the car, the hard part's really done. I've got a wiring harness. We could make it run probably in a day or two if we had to. But, you know, I want to do it right, do it once, do it right.
Yeah.
And there's some things I want to do to make it better while I'm making it right. The rear suspension is kind of the big hot topic for it right now. I'm finishing up the engine bay kind of as we speak, finding little parts and bits and pieces. There's a lot of AN fittings.
Did you get the whole intake manifold thing figured out? I know you had said that you were probably gonna have to like cut it down and like change the.
I haven't cut it up yet, but it is going to need slightly modified. Yeah. Part of the reason is I'm going to go to a throttle by wire setup on the car.
Okay.
Which again, drivability reasons and stuff like that is the main goal driving that. Like I could do it with a throttle cable and use the pedal box that's already in there.
Yeah.
But there's a couple other factors that kind of modify. So I think what's probably going to happen is the factory pedal box from 1968 is going to go away. It wasn't really that good in the first place. The brake pedal and clutch pedal are very, very small, very narrow, and in the heat of the moment in track racing could be easy to kind of hit more than one. I don't have the world's smallest feet.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not Shaq, but at the same time, you know, I'm not a 5'3" Japanese guy, so with size 7 feet or something, you know, I've got kind of big American feet. So, do we need to?
No, we don't need to start over. I just remembered that I needed to, you know, press play on that.
Pop that one on.
Clap again.
Clap again.
I knew I was missing something. I'm like, there's
now we're just starting over.
Something, yeah.
So anyway, so I think the pedal assembly is going to be basically the factory pedal assembly is going to go away completely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to like a floor-mounted Tilton pedal box.
Okay.
That's going to allow me to do a few beneficial things. For one, it's going to allow me to go to a bias adjustable braking system for the brakes, which is really nice. So I could kind of bias it front to rear. Get it that drivability just that much better.
Dialed in.
Yeah, dialed in that much better. Especially because I'm changing the front brakes to a 300ZX Z32 setup. And then the rears are probably going to be some form of a Willwood or aftermarket caliper just to get rid of the drum setup in the back.
Now, is that something that you can easily change when you're going out to like a track day?
Yeah.
So like, if you want to have it one way for on the street, then have it another way for the track.
It's actually just going to be a knob on the dashboard. And you make a turn to the knob, and it's going to bias more to the rear, bias more to the front. You could do it mid-lap at Mid-Ohio if you wanted to.
Wow.
You're on the straightaway. You have a second.
And you're just like, oh, this isn't going the way I want.
You know, I mean, the knowledge of how much does it actually change when I do a quarter of a turn or an eighth of a turn is important.
Something.
But that's a mental thing. But that's something you learn. But yeah, if you're starting to lock up a rear, lock up a front, trying to balance it out a little bit, that gives you that benefit.
I mean, like maybe this sounds dumb, but like, what if you're, you know, almost done with a heat and you're like, man, my brakes are like on fire and I'm not getting any. Could you like bias it more to the rear and maybe
you could?
I mean, that's probably not going to help you as much as you'd want.
That's a pretty random situation that probably shouldn't happen. If you're overheating the brakes, there's a lot of other negative parts
that you need to fix.
Yeah. The front should never overheat. The rotors are massive. The calipers are very, very big. They're
you set off with 300ZX.
Yeah, 300ZX, which weighs like twice as much as this thing and has potentially more tire. I'm not going to run a massive tire on this car. So, you know, there's only so much braking force you can put in before it simply locks it up. The other benefit of that pedal box is it moves all of the reservoirs inside the car.
Okay.
Away from the engine compartment where all the heat is. So the turbo is, because of...
It's going to be hot.
It's a small engine compartment. It's not a big engine compartment. So packaging is going to be a concern. So the... So where I've run the downpipe in order to give a little space of air between the downpipe and the engine and some of the manifolds and the turbo and everything else to try to cool all those components off appropriately, it would be running directly on top of the reservoirs for the brake and clutch cylinder, which is just going to cook those right from the factory. So I'm going to move those into the cowl area. There's like an fresh intake cowl.
Okay.
I'm going to move those into that area and then firewall off that whole side. And then it's just going to be a hot zone and there won't be anything there to really affect it. I'm going to probably put in like a double insulated type firewall to keep heat out of the cabin. Yeah. And that's going to be a really nice feature of that car, to be able to try to have not hot brake fluid and clutch fluid.
That'll also help your track performance too then.
Yeah, just drivability in general. I mean, even on the street, most of the time on the track, you're moving fast enough.
You get that. Yeah.
You're getting a lot of airflow, so
but if you're just going 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, when you're driving around town and you're kind of heating up the engine bay and you're stopping all the time, that's when you start to heat soak components. So really, it's almost a benefit more on the street than it is on the track. But so we're going to make that move. I have some plans for the interior. I've
lots of pink. You're going to get one of those dildo shifters?
Yeah, absolutely. Big floppy. It actually is a stick taller than the windshield.
It's going to go out the roof.
They call it the American dream. Anyway.
Jeez.
Only ever seen like a kid get knocked out by one.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That's a funny video.
He's drifting and it's like...
No, his buddy hit him with it. It knocked him out cold. Yeah, it's not related to cars at all. You just get knocked out by a giant dildo. We'll edit that out.
Weird turn.
That took a turn. Yeah, so that project's going good. It's just taking a lot of time. I think the next, moving into the interior and getting the gauge set up, I'm not quite sold on what I want to do for gauges just yet. I have some options. I have a digital dash here, actually, in kind of about 5 feet away from us in the cabinets there, that I picked up kind of on a hella Black Friday deal.
It's not the AIM one, right?
It is. It's an AIM Strata MXL.
Oh, it's the different one from...
So I had the AIM Strata in the Miata, in the Turbo Miata project. I put the AIM Dash into that. That was an older one. It was a monochrome display, so it only had one color. Did have the shift lights, which was very nice, but it didn't play super nice with the Megasport system that I had.
I know you said that you needed to get like some super expensive system in order to use it.
Yeah, it kind of just got overly complicated for what was supposed to be a simple installation. But it wasn't a bad dash. Actually, AIM makes a really good product, and not sponsored, but they actually have a really good product.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with saying who makes a good product.
Right, yeah. This is actually...
Presented by Rode.
Rode microphones and Sony cameras.
Yeah.
Sony, send us another one.
Or two.
Or three. Or 1A, what's the new one? A1?
The A1.
Yeah. It's like steak sauce.
I like good. 8K. I have no use for it, but I like it.
Yeah. But I won't be able to edit it on anything I own. So the AIM makes a really nice product. Yeah. This is a full color TFT dash, so it's going to have a lot more options for customization and how you want it to look on the street or on the track, and you can change those pretty quickly. Yeah. And it will play nice with the Link ECU that I'm going to use to run the engine. So I already know those kind of play nice with each other. So that's going to be
already
really
a perk.
Yeah, big perk. I don't have to go that route. There's like Speed Hut makes gauges that are kind of customizable that could fit into the stock dash. Yeah. So I'm gonna do some investigation and kind of how I want to do it. I don't want it to look track oriented for like 100% full race setup. Like the dash is gone and I've just got the AIM dash bolted to the freaking steering column. That's a cool look if you have a track specific car, and that's not what this is. It's a resto mod. So I really want to have...
You want it to look good on the track and hard parking. Yeah. And be able to race.
Yeah. I want it to be functional.
And beat up on some Mustang kids.
That'd be hilarious. I don't know if it will, but it might.
It sounds like it might.
It'll be quick.
I remember your old Corolla.
That was fun.
It was proper quick, and that had less horsepower and weighed about the same.
Yeah, it was about the same weight. Yep.
So I think you might be... Because
might be fun.
We raced that Evo. We went to go sell your Corolla.
Yeah, that was. We highway raced that guy. And short gears helps, but...
Yeah. Miss that car.
Yeah, it was a good car.
Still miss that car.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the Datsun project. We're moving forward. There's going to be a lot of videos out on it, but it is going to be probably a little bit slowing down for the summer. I've got some other things going on, some other irons in the fire. It's probably not going to be driving by the end of the year, which... well,
it's a big project, and to do it right,
it just takes
it's going to take time. Yeah.
Yep, that's where I'm at. And I want to enjoy it. I like the build. Like this is... it's adult Legos, really. You know, it's just a really fun build process. So I really just want to take my time, do it right, and show everybody else, show you guys, let you guys watch this. In the meantime, I do have some other projects in mind. I've kind of gotten to the point. I need a daily driver for the winter. Is really what I need. I haven't quite decided what I want that to be just yet.
And you got Land Rover possibly on the.
I've been looking into Land Rover Discovery 2s. They push all the right buttons for me in regards to price, in regards to aftermarket availability, and in regards to just creature comforts.
Yeah.
Like they're not. Actually, I really like the LR3 is kind of I think the sweet spot right now.
Is that the blue one that you had sent me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
That did
LR3
look nice.
is a little bit more. I guess the Discovery would be more off-road focused.
Yeah.
And the Discovery or the LR3 Land Rover is a little bit more
Soccer mommy.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. Most are white. No, it's just, no. They're better on the highway.
Okay.
Better. They have a little better tow rating.
That's going to be my next question.
So if I'm going to tow the Datsun or tow something else to the track, I actually have a little bit of a backup vehicle.
Usability.
Yeah, a little bit more usability. So
That's honestly, that's kind of where I want to go. I just heard recently, so this would be something fun to bring up with the idea of cars, is the Tesla wants to release a $25,000 model of some kind.
like an introductory model.
Yeah, like the
or
Model
inexpensive.
2.
Yeah.
The Model 2, and it's going to be like a small hatchback.
Well, it'll be the Model C probably.
Why do you say that?
Because the model names are spelling out sexy. So then they're going to have to start with the C, then the A, then the R, then the S. So it'll be sexy cars. Will be the model lineup names.
Okay.
Because I think that's their ongoing thing.
Well, I thought the Model 3.
Yeah, E.
Oh.
Lead speak, hackers.
Oh, come on, Musk.
Yeah, S,
Jeez.
3, X, and Y. Models say sexy.
I never realized that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever they're going to name it,
yeah.
a sub $25,000 car, and they want to be able to build it, in order for them to do that, they're going to have to build it in some, very efficient way.
Correct.
Which right now their manufacturing is not that efficient.
No, you're paying for a software license.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love Teslas, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think they're wonderful vehicles, but what you're really buying is a software license.
Because I talked with my girlfriend about that, and I was like, I think you would probably love a Model Y.
And I would love a Model
SUV.
Y. The problem is you can't get a hold of them right now. They're just difficult to get.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, she's super cheap, so she's not going to... Sorry. She's super cheap, so she's not gonna buy one right now by any means. But if anything, I'll have to save up the money to buy it and then be like, oh, it's your car that I drive on Saturdays when I work.
Yeah, when you have to put all your gear into one machine, yeah.
So, but no, I mean, I saw that they were wanting to release that, and they were like, well, I mean, at this point, it's still going to be a sub 5-second car,
Yeah.
And and it was funny because I talked with my dad the other day because I saw a video, Car Wow. I don't know if you've ever seen their videos online.
Don't think so.
They just race random stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it's hilarious. I mean, like they put the most random cars against them. They're all fast, but like they'll have like the Taycan. We were talking about that a little bit ago. They'll have like the Taycan, and they'll race it against like an Aventador SV. Just to see what it's going to happen.
Random stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they had the standard Model 3, they had the long-range Model 3, and then they had the performance Model 3.
Yeah.
So they had them all in a line, and they raced them all. And I was surprised at how much faster the other two were than the standard.
Yeah.
But
it's a big price difference if I remember as well. I think the performance is quite.
The performance is like 60,000.
Yeah.
Where the long range was like 50.
Okay.
And then the normal one was like what, 38?
Something cheap.
Something.
They're really inexpensive.
Yeah, they are honestly a good deal.
Yeah.
And even that one still ran the quarter mile in like 13.6.
Oh, they're not slouches.
No, but the long range actually was pretty much faster than the performance because.
Well, the performance has other things with it, like brakes and suspension.
Yeah, the brakes and whatnot are better, but it still didn't brake hardly any better. They were like, due to our tests, like especially for the money, the long range is your bet.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think the performance ran a 12.1, and the long range ran like a 12.2 or 12.3.
Interesting.
And it's just crazy. I talked with my dad the other day, and he used to have an El Camino that he built back in the day, and he used to street race that in Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico.
And it was one of the fastest cars around our area at the time. Yeah. Everyone called it Cassius Clay because it stung like a bee. You know, it was so fast.
That's really funny. Okay.
And so he had this old El Camino, and I was like, what was the fastest you ever ran in that on the street? He was like, 12.7. And that was one of the fastest cars around by leaps and bounds.
Yep.
And now, $50,000 car, $40,000 car?
I mean, my Alpha runs, I forget what it is. I'd have to look that up. But from the factory, the 2 liters run, I mean, I want to say it's a 12 something.
Yeah.
13.
So that's what I mean. It's like,
quick.
But this little, and it uses it on electricity.
Yeah.
$40,000 car, $40,000 car runs a 12.2, 12.3 in the quarter mile at, with using a little bit of electricity. You can fill the whole thing for $2.
13.1 seconds.
Yeah.
For my Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, even my slow daily driver Civic will probably do like...
Oh, it's probably a 14-second car. Which,
like 14.
Yeah.
Which is not
That's
fast,
brag
but it's not
about,
slow.
But it's not slow compared to anything, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's
I
just...
think the Citroen 0 to 60 is 14 seconds.
Yeah.
Actually, like for real, it's like 12.
We'll get there some year.
We'll get there. It's not what that car is
about. Take it slow, Bessie.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, so it's amazing the performance level.
Yeah.
How performance level has changed in vehicles.
Well, and kind of bringing it full circle back to the Datsun and the fact that you have a car that's, well, how old is it now?
That's a 68. So
it's
coming up on
60 years old-ish,
Coming up on,
So you have a car that's, 50 some years old, 60 years old.
Yeah.
And you're now putting a motor in it that's 20 years old.
That was a blacktop SR, so that would have been...
Is that late 90s?
That was mid. I think it was like 92 to 95.
So you're putting a 30-year-old motor in it.
Basically a 30-year-old motor, yeah.
So you're having the life of the motor.
Yeah.
And then half the other equipment that you're going to put into it is 2020,
Modern, yeah.
Wood, the Willwood brake kits and some other stuff. Your brakes are still, your front brakes are 300 ZX.
They're coming off some older models, but they don't.
But,
I could use something else.
But I mean, like your pads, everything else.
Yep.
So it's just crazy to see this transition through the years of an old car with a newer motor with really new parts.
Well, and the big difference for that car is going to be the digital dash that we talked about in that Link ECU. Those are very modern performance adders that, especially the ECU, the controllability from a modern standalone engine computer
ridiculous.
Is absolutely insane compared to what was available even when the motor of that car was new. I mean, they could not have, the OEMs would have loved to have that level of technology, much less the aftermarket performance community for, quite frankly, cheap.
Yeah,
These are expensive parts.
I mean, that even leads you back into the whole NASA thing. They landed a man on the moon.
My watch has more power.
Exactly.
Than that. So, yeah, it's a different world that we live in, but we have reached peak petrol. Like I don't think we're going to go back.
I think
I don't think we're going to see any new development of any new motor. Like, there's not going to be a new
combustion
internal. Like GM is not going to design a new 4-cylinder motor.
No,
they're gonna maybe improve upon what they have to meet emission standards through. I think they said all their cars are going to be electric by 2030. So that's 9 years from now.
Yeah,
and that's not very long in the world of cars. So they're going to keep using what they've got. I think.
Yeah, there's no reason for them.
Volkswagen has announced they are not developing any new petrol engines. They're going to modify current engines to meet new emission standards until they can phase them out, but they will not develop a new petrol internal combustion.
And even look at like my Civic. It's, it's a 4-cylinder, 1.5 liter
something like
turbo.
That. Yeah.
And I can get 40, 50 miles to the gallon driving on the expressway.
Yeah.
And yet it'll still do 14 seconds. It's not slow.
No.
And I can get a tune and wake it way up.
Correct. Yeah.
It's got 180, and I could take it to 210, 240. Yeah. So I mean, that's a decent amount of power.
That's a lot of power out of a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
From the factory.
From the factory.
Yeah. So yeah, it's amazing what cars are capable of now from a performance standpoint right out of the gate.
Yeah.
You could buy a Honda Civic for way less
20 grand.
Yeah, for 20 grand that almost outperforms an El Camino, top of the line, everything from
years ago.
No, it's a long time ago, but things are getting faster, and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so like seeing the way Teslas are, seeing the way just your normal combustion engines are today, and yeah, like you said, we have reached kind of peak performance of where we're at. I mean, at least for where we're at technology-wise right now. I mean, I could imagine that we could, maybe if there was some other fuel source that we could use, there might be some different kind of motor, but yeah, I think...
And I don't see us going any further with a petrol engine.
No, I think electricity is going to be...
It is the future.
It is the future.
It's going to be what is moving forward, so which is really pretty cool, but at the same time, a little bit different.
Maybe one day we'll all have small little like nuclear motors inside of our cars.
Who knows?
Yeah.
They would have liked that in the 50s, but yeah.
Right.
So, one more topic I want to talk to you before we kind of wrap up today.
Sure.
And it has to do with the Alfa Romeo. I love the car. It's got me a lot of views on this channel. There's a lot of people that like that car or like to watch me do stuff with it. My oil change video is one of my most popular, which who would have thought with an Alfa Romeo? Now, it's not an easy oil change, and I talk about that pretty extensively in the video. But the car's coming up on 38,000 miles.
Okay.
And
so it's just out of the break-in period?
Just out of break-in. Just out of the warranty period.
Ooh, yeah.
And actually, it does have an extended warranty for the car that I got through Fiat Chrysler. So it is a Fiat Chrysler extended warranty. It's good for 10 years or 100,000 miles. So the car is under warranty for much longer than it's not that it's out of warranty.
Yeah.
My big problem is, one, it sucks in the snow. We talked about that at the beginning of the episode. I want to get something that's a little bit more friendly for snow. And that could be a Honda Fit or that could be a Land Rover. We didn't close in on that too much. But the question is, what do I do with that car? It's a cool car, it has great performance, but there is no dealer network where we live. So now I own a car with a warranty that if it does break, there's no dealer network. I've got to drive it 2+ hours, and then I've got to have something else to drive, which I will take care of. But what do you do with that? It just seems to me like it may be time to move on and find another project or another summer daily or another fun car to drive, but where do you go from there? I mean, it's a very high performance vehicle. It isn't a stick shift, and none of them were, which I could go back to something with a manual transmission, which I would enjoy. I like driving a stick shift. I like rowing the boat, but man, the 8-speed on that really would make me leave a stick shift forever.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, me being I've driven a manual for the last...
Ever?
No, my very first car.
We don't talk about first cars because they're awful crap. Was your first car?
The first car I bought
yes,
was a manual. Yeah.
Same.
So my parents bought my Cavalier, my very first car, and
we won't talk about it.
Didn't respect it, didn't love it, but hey,
it was wheels. It was freedom.
It was wheels and freedom. Yep, I was able to get out of the house. And and then I paid them back for that. And then after I got in a car accident, because that's how everyone loses their first car.
Yeah, pretty much. Mine hit a tree. It jumped right out in front of me.
The tree
it was one of those really aggressive driver trees.
It was like a Pokemon.
It cut me off. It cut me off with no room to stop, and I hit it straight on. So unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, and I bought my 2010 SI.
Yep.
Probably still my favorite car that I've owned to this day, even.
Those were good cars.
But
K20 power and
and it
high
just
revs. And
it had all the things I needed. It had USB speaker. You could plug in your USB phone.
Oh, for the phones, yeah.
So I could listen to the music off my phone, and then speakers are fine. I had a small subwoofer in it. It was powerful, and it looked good, but it wasn't too flashy. It was
right.
Great car. Anyway, I've had a manual ever since then.
Yeah.
I've actually had a Civic ever since then.
You have. Ever since I've known you. I think I've had like 18 cars and you've had like 3 Civics.
Yeah. So
it's all right.
Well,
I have a problem.
You got to say you got a problem, and apparently I got a problem too. So, But I mean, like, the Civic is such a great all-around car, and, you know, all it is has just been daily driver for me. So, you know, I've always had a manual for such a long time now. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you there, but
Yeah,
I do like the Alpha.
I do. I think there's still progress that can be made with the car. I think suspension work could be done to see how it handles. I think it'd be perfectly capable of doing a track day, like a grid life event, not a time trials. I'm not going to do competition with it. It's not a competitive. It's not set up for that.
No.
But I think there's a little bit of growth that could still be done with the car. But I'm also worried that it's going to do something incredibly Italian, and I'm going to have to trailer it 2.5 hours to the nearest dealership, which is 2 to 2.5 hours away, and then go pick it up when it's supposedly fixed, if it is fixed right on the first try. And the last time it went into the dealership for a mechanical issue, it took 7 weeks. It's a long time to be without a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'll have another daily or another driver. I have plenty of cars I can drive around, especially in the summer, but it's just, do you want to deal with that experience? So,
you know, so you got some options.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. So you guys will see it when I buy it.
Maybe post in the comments what you guys think you should get. You know,
what's a good replacement for the Alfa Romeo?
Because is there a replacement for displacement?
It's only the 2-liter, not that much displacement. All right, well that's about all we got for today. Thanks for watching. If you stuck it in this long, I don't know how long. We've been talking for like an hour and a half, but this will obviously get edited down. He doesn't even have a watch on. And
watch this.
Watch this. 1:30. Yeah, who gives a shit? But again, thank you for watching. Click the like button, click the bell, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Check out Colby's channel. You got a couple videos on there. I guess we could wrap this up real quick with what he does. He is a wedding photographer, or a photographer, I guess. We'll call it photographer. You do primarily weddings. And so check out his website, Colby's Photo, and check out his YouTube page. It'll be in the link below. And if you're getting married in the Northwest Ohio area, give him a call.
Or if you want to fly me to wherever.
Yeah, you've done some in Las Vegas and California and Florida.
North Carolina.
Yep. So, yeah, he will travel. So, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the next video.